Hello everybody, welcome to Idle Game Chat. This is Dimp Digital's weekly video games podcast. You've got myself, Apps, here running the operations for this week. And I'm joined by Mr. Piper and Tom Adkins, not Tom Adcock. Gents, how we doing?
Yeah, good. Hello.
Did you try and cut in early then?
Yeah.
That is a rookie mistake there.
That's my proneness of this going on this podcast. You know, I always have to fall in line, and I always forget my entrance cue. But you know, we live and learn.
It's an experience, and you will learn from it. Mr. Adkins, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Superb. So we've got quite a few things to talk about. Obviously, Gamescom happened this past week as well, and there will be some chatter about No Man's Sky because Mr. Piper, was the hype train within the Dimp Digital crew. He cost several people a lot of money buying this game, and none of them seem happy with it. Although we'll get on to that later. But I wanted to start with a little-known title called The Tomorrow Children, which was unveiled a couple of years ago and looked very, very exciting. I like the look of this particular title. And I had access to a version of the alpha about 6 months ago now, and there's a little video up on YouTube with that, giving my thoughts on it. But the news has come through that this will now be a free-to-play game, which is typically seen as the devil. One version of the devil spawn within the gaming industry. There's plenty of devil spawn, but this is one of them. And to cap it off, the Tomorrow Children will release also with a paid early access program called the Founders Pack. And obviously it'll be followed by the wholly free-to-play option. And that'll arrive sometime in the coming months. But the early access is due for the 6th of September this year. This Founders Pack includes premium paid content, which is about $20. It costs $20, and they reckon it includes $30 worth of in-game content. So just remember in mind that we're dealing in dollars. They've not given us any kind of UK or European equivalent, but they're saying this is going to cost you basically $20, and it's going to give you $30 worth of stuff. Here's what you get. You get some bourgeoisie papers, which allow you to become a resident within the Void. That basically gives you a status, allows you to have certain privileges such as building and creating structures and other little bits and bobs within the actual town. You get a level 1 arms license, which unlocks high tier weapons, a level 1 tools license, which unlocks higher tier tools, Eagle Corporation's jetpack, so a high-end black market paid item that will allow you to reach areas that you couldn't possibly reach before, a special costume. We all have a costume. Exclusive PSN avatar pack, which is, you haven't got enough avatars these days. You could always do with those. And 1,000 Freeman dollars, which is in-game currency, to put it simply. So that's what you're looking at. And they reckon that if you were to buy that in the game, all sounds pretty standard stuff, it's going to cost you $30. Mr. Piper.
Yeah.
We both earmarked this game. This is actually one game. When we went to EGX last year, you really wanted to have a go at, but either there was some bastard on it or it was broken, wasn't it? It didn't have a good showing.
No, I couldn't get it at all.
No. Does this sound concerning, or are you happy with what they're doing with this? Would you,
I know what you mean. Like, when I heard free to play, I thought, oh, crap, what is this? This is going to be a money-grabbing game, and I'm going to have to push loads of money into it. Or are they taking at it from a different aspect? And we don't know this yet, so this is all speculative. So are they taking to a different aspect? Like things like apps. The apps now, a lot of them are free to play, and you can build yourself up without having to use any money at all. But it just involves a lot of time, a lot of gaming,
a lot of
grinding basically.
What people say.
Or you can buy your way to victory sooner. So it's given you, and I'm hoping it's the latter of the two, and it's not just you have to buy this to unlock this content, or you'll never be able to build this building, for example. You can earn it, but you have to put the effort in. And that's, to be honest, that with games, I don't mind. Right. I like the ability to know that I can get there if I want to. Yeah, it may be hard work, but if I really want to do it, I can do it. But the free to play bit is worrying, and I've already said to you that I will be buying the Founders Pack.
Yeah.
So at the start of the year, there was 2 games that I said I am getting. They're on my radar. The only two I really care about this year,
Yeah.
which was No Man's Sky and The Tomorrow's Children.
Yeah.
As long as they both came out this year, in which they have. So
Yeah.
I will buy it because I've sort of said at the start of the year I would be interested. What's good with buying the Founders Pack is that you get also 5 free early accesses for your friends. They don't get the Founders Pack content, but they can start playing the game at the same time. So if I can play it, pretty much, if I buy it, everyone in the Dimp digital team that's on PlayStation can go on it anyways.
Yeah.
So and
That'll
we might
be
have some
interesting,
spare, so we might give away some on the podcast. I don't know. We might have some codes,
I don't know if they need to prove themselves.
A competition. We can do some sort of competition or something if we get some free entries or early accesses.
When we first started, we did do a competition for some. I think it's $500,000 GTA $5.
Yeah.
I think, and it came with like my PS4 version. No one responded, so we had to we made up a name. So it's James Johnson from Epping or wherever has won the and in the end I just redeemed it for myself. I thought if you're not gonna try to get free stuff, then I'll have it. So I think that is what will happen here. But what would be interesting about having, if you do go across and get this Founders Pack and get the early access on the 6th of September, which I believe is the date, is being able to play it. You offer out, say, 3 of them to people within the Dimp crew. So we play it with no added content. So the starter pack, the papers, the level ones. This is all stuff that probably is going to help in the early part of the game. You've obviously got that gear. It's going to be interesting to see how different our experience is and whether this content is A, accessible for someone that hasn't got the Founders Pack and it's easy, and B, whether without it, it's actually fun to work towards it.
Yeah, and I think we'll report back on that as well once we because I think that is something that we'll probably do as a collective anyway. So I'll be interested to understand that as well. I'd be interested to understand, because I'm buying a Founders Pack and you lot are not. But does that mean you lot are going to go off and do these tasks? And I'm like, well, there's no point in me doing that because I've already got it. So it feels a bit lonely for me at the start. So. Until you guys have built your way up. So does that mean that you guys will get 10 hours worth of gameplay, build up all this stuff to get to the same level as me, and then you lot might be like, oh, I'm bored of this now, or and then it leaves me all on my lonesome. I do think that the game is going to be very grindy, and I think that's going to be a lot of resource collecting, depositing, building, and to get enough resource to build these buildings and so forth. I never got a chance to play it, as we all know, but I did watch some of the streams when it was all out on the beta, and it does look like it's quite a monotonous and grindy type game. So if that's not your thing, and I'm looking at you, Biff, don't come on it, because it's you didn't like No Man's Sky, you definitely not like this, because it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. And a lot of time
without the procedural tech to trick you into thinking, I might come up with a plan here.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Adkins, have you got any kind of opinion on the Tomorrow Children? Because I know we've seen it out and about, and there's alphas and whatnot, and it's not, free to play is becoming an option for, it's something that we obviously saw a lot of in the mobile area that Piper just mentioned, but console wise there are a few free to play games out there. I know Smite is one of them, and
World of Tanks,
Neverwinter, they are out there and they do work. They don't tend to get as dreadful reception as what some do. Do you think this could be good in some ways, or is it going to be a bit of a stinker?
I don't know. It could be good, but from my experience, I've always thought, free to play. No, like games like Paragon and stuff, they look fun, but as soon as I found out they're free to play, it draws me away, unfortunately. I just think,
Well, some people were thinking that when Overwatch was first announced, that was going to be free to play in some aspect, and
wish it bloody was.
Yeah. Breakers as well, another one that's been shown. I think that's now moving away from that. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. I mean,
it's supposed to be a Steam exclusive, I think.
Yeah, but do you not think it's good though that you could potentially try the game? You haven't actually got to pay anything, because it's nothing worse, is there? You pay £30 for something and you play it and you think, fuck, I'm not enjoying this, and I've lost the money. Whereas at least in this, you can pretty much, if it is a grind, you think, well, I'm not up for doing this. I'll just opt out, and then I haven't got to worry if I've lost a few hours of time. But money wise, I'm laughing. I'm going to go and get Dying Light from eBay.
which has 25 minutes left.
Live updates on Idle Game Chat here for Adkins buying Dying Light on eBay, so we'll get an update on that during the podcast.
But yeah, no, yeah, I feel like from that aspect of things, yeah, that is good. So something I've not really looked into too much. I've watched you play it a few times on your little stream, and I would say I was running around fucking EGX trying to find a working console.
Yeah, play it.
But nothing's really hooked me in with this game yet. I don't know if I really give it the time of day, to be honest.
No,
but
Papa goes out of his own goodwill and goes, "Oh, here's a free early invitation pass because you're one of my best friends." And you're
debatable that.
you're still going to throw it back in his face.
I say, I don't want it.
Oh dearie me!
What? We'll see.
We will see. I like the whole setting of this, like the whole Russian kind of weird.
That's what it is. It's the Russians. That's why they're going to be money grabbing. That's what it is down to. They've gone for the Russian Soviets, and then they're going to grab all your money. But what I personally thought, the Tomorrow's Children, what it would have done well is, because it's a PlayStation exclusive, they should have done what they did with things like Rocket League, and just if they're going to do it free to play, like do a month where they give away for free, and then say after that you have to pay for it. I think everyone would have jumped on that bandwagon. Loads of people would have been playing it, and they would have probably been onto a winner. So
dressed it up as like a little monthly game. But then when people got to the other end and found out it was in the format of a free to play game, that would have been a disaster, wouldn't it? They'd gone, hang on, you expect me to pay for this shit?
Well, no, then maybe they have like the founder pack for like the first 6 months, and then they just maybe say, right, we're now going to open up free to play, but like you get less than what you would have got in the founders pack. It would have probably worked. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it's an interesting tact. I wasn't actually expecting it, to be honest. I thought it was going to be about 25 quid or something, and that was job done. I got a feeling from the game, you're gonna have to grind a bit, collect resource, but we'll keep an eye on that. And if you do get the founders pack, then we'll be looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And if the passes are handed out to anyone within the Dimp Digital team, we'll definitely get together and have some sort of discussion about that.
You going to get the founders pack, or are you going to rely on me?
I'll rely on you, absolutely. I will absolutely rely on you. And it'll be interesting to see how they price it in the UK.
I think £15.
Brexit in that might be 20 quid, and you're going, hang on, how's that like for like? Pound struggling. We'll see. That's the fallout of Brexit, unfortunately. But that's Tomorrow's Children. The Founders Pack is available for those that want to go and grab it at the moment. There's no European stuff going on in the US. I said it's going to cost you $20, basically. I think it is September the 6th.
September the 6th, Founders Pack, sorry.
That you can do that. And then the full free-to-play release is in the coming months. We don't have a release date on that. Let's move on to No Man's Sky. Didn't want to start off with No Man's Sky because I was aware the last 3 episodes we've kicked off with No Man's Sky in some capacity, and it's getting to that stage where this is probably the last time we're going to talk about it for some time unless something drastically changes. Pipe, I'm going to start with you again. Mr. Adkins has kind of got to take a back seat again for this particular bit, but he won't be involved.
In the game of
shotgun.
He's got eBay. He's got eBay auctions to concentrate on.
20 minutes.
20 minutes till Dying Light arrival. It's all out now. It's been out a week and a half. What are your thoughts of you playing the game, No Man's Sky itself, high level jobby?
Right.
Oh! Hesitation.
No. So I get it. I get why people are annoyed. There are things missing or things not there that Sean Murray said was going to be there. So people are frustrated.
Yep.
I get that. That hype train sort of built that up, and I feel like people thought it was going to be something like a cross between Minecraft and something like GTA, but in the world of space that's never ending. So I get that why people were annoyed, and to some extent, my level of the high bar I've set, I've gone underneath that. I haven't hit that level what I thought I was going to hit with the game. Saying that, I don't
10 out of 10.
Saying that, I still don't think it's a bad game if you appreciate it for what it is, rather than take the price tag away. That's another conversation.
Well, that will be coming up.
But take it for what it is, and where we're going in the world of gaming. It's done something that's never been done on a console before. This world is procedural generated. Even Minecraft had caps on the
size of it.
On the size of it. I know that No Man's Sky does have a cap, but the cap is huge. Like, we'd never be able to get it all. Whereas in the Minecraft, we could have probably got around the whole map if we'd wanted to, if we'd really tried. So it's in that terms of things, like, it's a step in the right direction in terms of bringing console games into the world of maybe sometimes what the PC get and the console doesn't. So I get it for that. I think that the hype train was far too high for it. Maybe they released it too early, or talked about it too early and allowed this hype train to build. But it is a good game. It can, like anything that's procedurally generated, can be samey. You know that if you see a red beacon down on the planet, you'll zoom down to it and you'll get there, and you might go to, I think it's like you click, I can't remember what it's called, like shelter or something like that, it's a drop, and it's a drop point, or when you go over there and you can extend your rucksack, and it's the same thing that you do every time. It's not like there would be any variation in there. So you know what you're going to get. The animals can be quite similar. So once you sort of start, you notice, like, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, there's like little scorpion things that are little shits that come up and go.
I've not seen scorpions, if I'm honest.
All right, so maybe I've seen them on a couple of planets, and
I've seen a lot of flying slugs.
I've not seen any flying slugs yet. Annoying. I want to see a flying slug.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the game, though, isn't it? This is part of the two generation, that there is going to be these completely polar opposite experiences.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I feel that I'm enjoying from the game. And as much as we're all putting a dampener on it and people have walked away and said, oh, that's shit, or it's crap and stuff like that, for the people that are playing it, and there's still a lot of people playing it, and we're talking loads here, they're getting, I would say they're getting 60 plus hours out of it easily. And if you'd pay 40, 50 pounds for that sort of gameplay on a normal AAA game. So I don't quite understand where some people are going, well, look, no, it's crap. And it's not everyone's type of game, but you know what, there is a lot of people out there that do like those type of grindy, it's like a bit like an MMO, but without sort of like the story and the quests type of game.
Got that.
So it's taking that out of it. And I feel like, I was thinking about it this morning, and the one thing it's missing, the one thing that would have made people probably cream their pants over this game, is crafting and being able to build, for example, your own bases or your own like space stations. If it had that ability, people would have been like, wow, I want to collect all this resource and I can build my own unique house, or my own unique shelter, or my own unique space station in the sky that's just floating around. And people would have loved that. And then, like, I think that's what it's missing from it being a great game to it being a good game.
Yeah, so well, they have mentioned in the future updates that they're planning, and we'll get on to whether that's going to cost us anything or not in a bit, but they have mentioned that base building is part of their plans.
Yes.
So that is something that could possibly come. Now, lots to unpack there, lots of good points that we've touched upon. Mr. Adkins, he mentioned the hype train. Yeah. And we love we do love a hype train, me and you. We soak up all the media, we soak up all the marketing, and get tricked time and time again with it all. This particular piece, was the hype itself actually Sony or Hello Games' fault? Because you look at actually what they showed, it was the same demo 4 times over, him going to a planet, walking around, everyone's going, what the hell is this game? And I kind of feel like it was the community or the fans, their expectation levels of what they wanted that carried this higher than what it probably should have been.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was more the fans that have built this up to be a bit of a beast. I was actually seeing in an interview Sean Murray actually say that this game will never, ever live up to the hype that was surrounding it.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah. But it's a bit like Lost. Do you remember that TV series Lost?
Yeah.
That was so speculative about what was going to happen.
Right.
I think the amount of people that didn't have a clue what was going to go on, and just there was no sort of information to go on, so they just speculated. That grew the hype for that. I mean, that TV show, if it weren't so interested and no one knew what the fuck was going on, that wouldn't have been as big as it was. So I think it's a similar sort of hype train with No Man's Sky, just a sort of mystery.
Yeah. You're right. I think that is a good point. It is, it does come down to people's expectations, and find what tends to happen is people make up, and I do it lots. I've done it with Metal Gear Solid, the Phantom Pain, awful, really let myself down. Made up a fantasy world that I wanted to happen, lived in that world until release, and then when I played the game and didn't get the story that I wanted, I was slightly angry at the game, when really that's not a fair way to be doing things. And that's what the biggest case I've had with that was with Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, in my expectations of what I wanted. Granted, they cut a third of the game out, the fuckers, so I think I was
Konami!
Right. Yeah, well, we've got some stuff going on later on with me and Adkins.
But it's, you know what is interesting as well? Like, there are space games out there that do something similar, but not procedurally generated and not as big, like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. And I feel that people have taken those games as well, especially the Master Race, have taken those games and thought, right, that like Star Citizen is amazing combat, and you can jump out your ship and walk around these space stations and all stuff like that. It's amazing. So Elite Dangerous, amazing combat in the sky, and the trading is absolutely. It's huge. It's like a job in itself, just trading alone. And I feel like people have mashed those together as well, and thought, right, it's going to be Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, but on a universe that's never ending. That's huge. And I feel like, it was never going to be that. It was never going to be that. And people have just, if you want Star Citizen, play Star Citizen. If you want Elite Dangerous, play Elite Dangerous. If you want something that's a bit more grindy and monotonous, play No Man's Sky.
No, I mean, that's good. I mean, what's interesting about both of those is I think that both Elite Dangerous, and I know for a fact Star Citizen, were both crowdfunded games. So they started life as, let's get a group of fans together, let's get them to fund part of this. Whereas you look at No Man's Sky, it was 12 blokes in a shed. Okay, look, Sony have obviously at some point had a little look at this and gone, right, let's try and lock that down, and we'll help massively with the marketing, and we'll help with the distribution. We want this on disc. We don't want this to be a download, because there is the train of thought that if something is a digital download only, you can't charge 40 or 50 UK pounds for it. So I can see where Sony have had an influence there. In reality, Adkins, you feel like this should have been, or could have been, would have been more suited perhaps, to be an indie game with early access on PC and then a cheaper starting price.
The game itself, it does fit that sort of criteria. I could see that being that sort of way. But then I think that it would have dampened the sales, like a lot with that We Happy Few.
Yeah.
I was real hyped for that game. I thought, oh, brilliant. That's going to be... Now it's come out and it's like on an early access. They say it's not going to be ready for another sort of 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I've just thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to wait on this one.
Well, the interesting thing about We Happy Few is it seems like it plays nothing like anyone was expecting. It's like another resource collection survival game. It's nothing like BioShock.
Nah.
In terms of how it plays. But then, that's good in its way, because you see all these opinions that have come out, people that have bought it, and now you know what, I probably won't buy that game when it comes out. Whereas, obviously, with No Man's Sky, you took the plunge.
Bosh.
It's bang, and it's they've got the money, and it's game over.
PlayStation 4's second biggest ever selling game, isn't it? After Uncharted 4.
It's the fifth biggest new IP on a Sony machine, behind Destiny, Watch Dogs, The Getaway. even I had that, and The Last of Us. So they're the sort of standing on the shoulders of giants, really, considering where it has come from.
Yeah.
So go on.
As a consumer, that would help benefit you, but as a company, I don't think that would have really harmed them, I think.
Well, there's been a couple of other things that, have turned heads. One, that the multiplayer doesn't exist, really.
Yeah.
Destiny Dave's gone out and written an article on dimpdigital.com and also medium.com/dimp-digital.
Sticker thing. There was like a sticker over the multiplayer logo on the UK boxes.
Yeah, and the age... Yeah, so I think what happened there, I don't genuinely think they tried to trick people, but I think at some point someone went away and printed all the boxes wrong. And they thought, that ain't correct. We don't have... maybe the multiplayer functionality of the thing, that has changed, but I don't think the age rating they must have got that wrong.
They didn't even stick my stickers on, like, so it's really annoying because they're out of sync with the rest of the box. I'm like, oh, it doesn't even line up.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I've just picked mine up actually,
and it frustrates the hell out. I look at it and think, oh,
yeah,
it's in line.
But that's one thing that is, you know, disappeared seemingly and aggravated some people, because I think that was going to create some real special moments potentially, and hopefully it will arrive in how it was meant to, you know, be there. But I think just bumping into someone, however slim the chance, would have been amazing. But it's definitely not there at the moment. The big one though is that DLC being free, so the additions, the updates and whatnot. So I'm going to read a quote that occurred before release. This is from Sean Murray himself. "We do want to add a ton of features like we've just discussed, freighters, bases, these type of things, but we want to do it for free. You've paid for the game. You should get this stuff without paying even more money. So no, there will be no paid DLC, just patches." Past week, though, Mr. Murray's then spoken in an interview with the Daily Star, of all newspapers. So I don't know why. I didn't even know they had a gaming division. This is his most recent quote. "Maybe in the future there's some reason why we couldn't possibly afford to do a certain feature without charging for it. Doesn't necessarily say, you know, DLC is going to be paid for, and the headlines were DLC paid in No Man's Sky." He's saying that there's a possibility it might happen. Yeah. But that's still a big 180 from there's no, there will be no paid DLC or patches. Piper, does this break your heart a little bit that this could potentially happen? Because I believe Murray when he said originally that wasn't going to be the case. I just feel like this will be my final point almost. I feel like they need to have hired some PR person to control the flow of information, because when you talk to developers, especially before release, they have all these bright ideas. He's clearly very, very passionate about this, but he doesn't know the business side of things. He didn't know how this is all going to work out. And if they had someone with a PR who could have put him on a leash, I think a lot of the problems that have happened post-launch, i.e. people being annoyed, saying it's missing shit and all that, would not have happened if they'd controlled the flow of information better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, a PR person would have been great, and I feel like if they'd had a PR person, there probably wouldn't have been the hype as well on the game, because I feel like a lot. I brought into Sean Murray this small time developer, you know, making the game of his dreams, and actually it was the game of a lot of people's dreams, potentially. So yeah, I feel like a PR person probably would have massively helped. On terms of the DLC though, it is a little bit heartbreaking. I don't think he's done a full 180. He's done sort of like a 45 degrees. Yeah, he's sort of put his foot. He's like starting to turn his foot a little bit.
I'm going to slam the door on that in case I need the money.
Exactly. I feel like they would have got an absolutely ton of money for this game, and I feel like things like freighters and I'm hoping, and this freighters, base building, and all like that stuff is stuff that they probably already started. I would hope they already started to work on, and it will be free in a patch. I feel there'll be a lot of pressure on them to do that free in a patch.
I think initially, anyway, for the first year,
yeah, exactly.
At least, like, they need to. There is. I think you're right. There is pressure. I mean, you know, 3 years down the line, if they go right, now we're going to add something.
Yeah, I get it.
The initial release, they've got to support this really.
Yeah, so there was a tweet sent out about from Sean Murray the other day saying that at the moment they're concentrating fully on customer service, so just bug fixing. So don't expect any new features in an immediate future. So I'm guessing like within the next month or so. Yeah. But they will be doing stuff, and I'm hoping they support it for free for so long, and then I don't know, like. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking about what would I be happy to pay for in terms of DLC. So I felt like you know, I look at it in terms of sort of like Minecraft. You know, they've consistently just been updating. They've not ever charged. They've just updated it and kept it going. Like made building, crafting, and all like that better. Added more items and stuff like that, and never hindered the game.
No Man's Sky story mode by Telltale.
That's what. But I was thinking,
license out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be. It would in the universe of No Man's Sky. I feel that what No Man's Sky could charge for, and I feel like a lot of people will be happy to pay like, I don't know, £10-20 for, is a story set within the universe of No Man's Sky. So you're actually in a story, maybe a 20-hour story that means you have to go around flying, doing stuff, getting space battles,
the specific quests and things.
Yeah, exactly. So like you open like a story mode, like is it like you would pay for in an MMO world, like with and I'm going to revert back to Guild Wars 2, the new story, or not so new now, but the Heart of Throne story mode, or DLC. You got, like with the DLC, you got a few extra, some new skins and stuff like that. But the main part of it, and like some gliders, but the main part of it was like the story. So I feel like that in itself is happy to be paid for, because that is not why I consider No Man's Sky a story game. It's a sandbox. So that's completely going off in a different direction. So I would happily pay for extras in terms of that. But in terms of improvements, I hope they don't say, look, like freighters behind you having to build, or you can't get this top tier base unless you pay for it. I would be very disappointed if that happens.
Yeah, it's one game that will definitely develop over time. And I've compared it offline to Destiny almost, and how that changed quite a bit in its couple of years that it's been out. And that had a lot of changes that was made to the game and whatnot, and that obviously charged for all the changes pretty much, which is a disappointment. But if they keep it down the route where they can provide most of this for free, it does have that gameplay loop, like you said, it is samey. But if you like the loop of going on a planet, discovering some outposts, getting some new tech, building some resources, finding the odd broken ship and trying to repair that, then you can get sucked into it. You can lose hours. Every time I switch it on, it's not just for an hour. No. It's for 2 to 3 hours. Coming on to a technical issue, I must mention this. I had in one evening, and they've patched it. I've not played it since the patch, but I had 6 crashes, hard crashes in one.
That's a lot.
And that was in about a 3-hour session.
Yeah, I had 3, and it was the same thing.
Journal.
And
mine was Waypoint.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, so that's a concern for me if that carries on. The thing was that, like I said, I've probably put close to 25 hours into this. First 18 hours didn't have a single problem, and then suddenly it's kind of hit a wall with it, where it's struggling a little bit on some planets, and the crashing just is becoming a little bit more common. I'm afraid to press start now, or press the options button to go into the journal in case it crashes, unless I've jumped out of my ship.
Have you played it since the new patch?
I have not, no. I have not, no. So that could have been fixed, but... I was
going to say, because the PC update, they've definitely in
stability.
Stability-wise. It's still got this thing that's called hitching, where it just sort of hiccups every time a new something pops generated, but the frame rate is a lot more stable.
Right, so they'll struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like you said, Piper said earlier, they are working solely on the customer service part of things, improving things like this. But with a game that's using tech like this, I kind of give it a pass, which is rightly or wrongly, but it's doing something that not a lot of games out there do with the scale of its procedural generation. And people will say, it's boring. You go to a planet and there's there's not a lot to do, and you go, well, you can't argue with that. But the people explore in the real world, you don't find landmarks every hour. You live for the moments when the mundaneness happens, and then you suddenly find something that's spectacular. And I have had that a couple of times with No Man's Sky, and that's what I'm playing for. I'm playing for those handful of moments where I will find something, I'll land on a planet, and it'll just be amazing. And it has happened. And I feel like the multiplayer part would have added another version of that, but it's not quite there. But that'll be what I would say about No Man's Sky itself. I wanted to talk quickly before I let Mr. Piper go about...
Hold on!
Procedural...
Breaking news!
Yep.
On the eBay front.
Have you been outbidded?
Dying Light is confirmed. That's £9.50.
£9.50, Dying Light. It's coming. Co-op sessions to Dimp Digital for Apps and Adkins. That is a happy day for me.
I feel that should be on the Twitch. I feel you should give your audience that now.
We should try and do that when that arrives for sure. But we'll continue. The last piece I wanted to do, and we won't drag this out too much longer, this is not really to do with No Man's Sky. It's to do about the way games are developed these days. We've got procedural generation out there. We've got No Man's Sky that's, this almost limitless world, 18 quintillion planets. But then there's also the school of thought where let's handcraft these levels. Let's handcraft these worlds, and they don't handcraft every fucking tree. I know that they will dump a lot of procedural stuff in there, but it's not actively generating it as you play. It's a set kind of playground for you. They've put things in there. They can make things happen for you. Mr. Adkins, in your experience, you've played lots and lots of games, different types. This is probably the biggest procedurally generated game out there.
Yep.
In your opinion or your taste, do you prefer a procedural generated world like this where you could bump into anything? You could have those special moments that I talked about, or a handcrafted world that's got certain things planted there, so there's Easter eggs and things like that for you to discover. Where do you sit on that side of the fence, or are you happy to dip into both?
No, I prefer the sort of already crafted. So
you've got 18 quintillion planets or unlimited planets. Would you have preferred 1,000?
I would have preferred 1,000 that I could say, go and check this planet out. I've just seen it. Yeah. Here you go. This, but it's a very cool idea having this procedurally generated. Like, it is good, but I don't know. On the social side, I can go, oh look, I've seen this, and someone go, did you? Oh, I'm never going to see it. So
and that's your own personal victory.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the flying slugs. Piper's livid.
Still not seen a crashed spaceship either. I'm annoyed at that.
Oh my god!
But you have to get a beacon for that.
Yeah,
all right, not a beacon. Sorry, a transmission.
Right, yeah.
That's the way to do that. But yeah, it is a 50-50. Piper, you got any thoughts on procedurally generated versus an out-and-out level design?
Yeah, I do you know, I just listening to Adkins there, and what he's basically saying is he wanted to see something cool, and he wanted to let his mate know that it was cool, so his mate could visit it. Yeah. That's the only thing that's missing from No Man's Sky or procedurally generated, because you can do that in like Minecraft and stuff like that. You can come across this or build this cool house and go, oh, come over here and look at this, it's fucking awesome. And you can share it. That's the problem at the moment, and this is purely No Man's Sky here, but you can't share those moments unless you record it and share it online. You can't actually experience it together. So I feel like there's a space for both of them.
Oh yeah, not saying kill them off, but
I must admit, like, handcrafted games are going to be a lot more interesting, a lot more fun. You can get more out of 20 hours worth of gameplay out of a handcrafted world than you can out of a procedurally generated world, just because of what it is. However, I feel I feel like I probably sit more in the handcrafted world than the procedurally generated world, but I do like the procedurally generated world as well.
Yeah, I think the tech behind it is interesting. It can go in it, like, this is a good example of what it can do in terms of its scope. So maybe you scale back the amount of planets. You do 1,000 procedurally generated planets, but there's a lot more detail on them. That sort of thing.
But then you lose the discovery part and stuff
like
that.
Yeah, you do. But I don't think I'm going to visit 1,000 planets on this. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to hit. Like, did they need 18 quintillion planets? I suppose there's a discussion for a different day, and it's like, how big do you need the game?
So how many planets does Star Citizen have?
That's a good question. Absolutely no idea.
So they've got like, they're all so for example, Star Citizen is all handcrafted. They're not procedurally generated, and I get the feeling that there might be. I don't know. I've never played Star Citizen, so I'm just quoting here, but there must be 100 to 1,000 different planets on Star Citizen.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite. But you've got to remember the amount of investment they've had from the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
That, to be honest, that is a game when that lands version 1.0 full release. That is, if I've not got the Master Race installed, then that is one that could turn me, because I think that has got a lot of potential. But there's so many people spending so much money on it now. It's not done us. It's craziness. But that is, again, a different discussion for a different day. Mr. Piper, I'll let you get on with your morning so you can carry on playing No Man's Sky and hopefully not experience any hard crashes. Maybe let us know about that patch to see if it's made it more stable. But thanks very much for joining us on this segment. Me and Mr. Adkins will continue with our journey on this week's podcast. But thanks for joining us.
No worries.
Cheers. So, Mr. Adkins, Gamescom has been and gone.
Boom.
Didn't actually preview it last week because I forgot, so I feel like it's gone a bit low key, and B, there was only one press conference and it was EA, so that it's difficult to have any structure to it because there have been tons and tons of trailers out there.
Yeah,
but it's difficult to find them all because there's not a press conference that's just been released showing them all, and you kind of watch it and you then log what's going on. You just got to go out and find them. It's been a bit difficult. I mean, EA's press conference is 3 hours long. They deep dive into FIFA, Titanfall, and Battlefield 1. They showed off gameplay demos of both of those in their multiplayer area. Even Marcus Rios was on the stage with them playing.
Cool.
So he was out there.
Cool.
But just talk about Gamescom generally. I feel like it's lost a little bit of its spark this year because it's not been.
It has. It sort of became the next thing to E3, didn't it? Really. I know there was a lot of sort of companies getting trailers ready for Gamescom. I think even in the previous years there has been some game announcements and
sure,
breaking news at this event. But I've got to say, this year it does seem a bit damp and the hype. They need the No Man's Sky hype on it.
Yeah,
get that hype train for their convention.
Yeah, it's taken a bit of a hit this year. Both Sony pulled out last year and decided not to bother, but Xbox or Microsoft did the same this year. EA stayed, and so they didn't bring anything new. They just announced new features of games that was already announced. But there were actually during the week, publishers were still using the week as a place to showcase trailers and whatnot. So we saw. Let's talk about it now. We mentioned it earlier. Metal Gear Survive. Konami's own entry into the Metal Gear franchise. 4-player co-op stealth adventure takes place after Ground Zero, where Mother Base staff are dragged through a mysterious wormhole into a weird and wonderful world. I'm getting some very, very strong Resident Evil Umbrella Corps vibes, i.e. cash in and spin-off of an existing franchise. It's not going to be a full-price game, so that's what they've confirmed.
Okay.
And I'm just expecting garbage. If
bad
really, place to be in, but that's what I'm expecting.
No, I would totally agree with you. I'm trying to give it the light of day and take away that Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it? But
no.
Is it fair? I don't know. It's a franchise that people love, so if you're going to put out on it and you're going to use... No, actually, it is fair. If you're going to use the IP that's popular, and you damn better sure it's it either respects the franchise or it's a good game at the very least.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, the reason why people love Metal Gear so much is because of Kojima's work, the characters, and they're just taking it. Like I know, Platinum made Rising, but it's still stuck with that character. It still had Kojima on board, and obviously that's not going to happen now.
No.
They should just leave the franchise alone, but I think they're just doing this to spite Kojima. I think because it left on such a sour note, they're like, right, we're going to run your fucking series into the ground.
Yeah, we've seen the trailer. It looks very odd, doesn't it? And
it does just look very
zombies. Yeah. There's like zombie type creatures, isn't there?
Yeah.
It remind me of the soldiers. I can't remember what they were called in Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. Those weird guys that were like all stiff and that after they'd been diseased with something.
What are they called? The ghosts? Or...
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Ghost Squad. Yeah, it might have been that. Or Skulls.
Skulls. That was it.
Yeah. So they remind me a little bit of them. These guys seem a lot more brainless.
Yeah. Well, I saw a video like just sort of trying to talk through it, and they were linking the little crystals that are in their heads to the horn that was in Big Boss.
Yeah.
Shrapnel. Shrapnel wing, whatever it was. But it just looks like it could be. I'd be amazed if it blows us away.
Yeah.
But
they're not charging full price for it, which at first I was like, good, it doesn't deserve it. And then I thought, no, because that now means this game is not having. They're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They're charging it at a small price because it's not costing them a lot to make.
No, that's right. Yeah, it's built on the same. Like, obviously, I wouldn't expect a new engine or anything.
No. Yeah,
but
an awesome engine. But yeah, it's God.
Oh, yeah, I'm really not looking forward to this one. There's no sign of any release date next year, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, the idea of having co-op in the Metal Gear Solid world has always appealed slightly to me.
Yeah.
Was that not an option in one of the? Was it in one of the handhelds? I can't remember if it was. I might be making stuff up here, but I think
no. You could do the bosses on Peace Walker.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
like
a world to go through. Work as a team.
Yeah.
It's interesting ideas that could work, but
it's just whether the execution of it actually does come out.
But with these people that are going to be developing it, and why is it being sold at a cheaper price? They're not putting as much money as they normally would into it.
See it. That just sounds like they're sort of backing themselves up already. They're making like a scapegoat. So if it does fail, they'll say, "Oh well, at least we didn't charge you full price."
Exactly.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, No, we did. That's the trouble. We do know what we're getting into if we do the purchases. I'm hoping it's good. I don't wish, for this to completely flop because,
it's got them.
It's I like good games at the end of the day, and if this is another one, I'll happily get it. It's just very weird. The whole setting of it is very weird and whatnot. But I haven't got high hopes for it. But I love to be surprised by things like this.
Be interesting.
End up being complete goodness out of garbage.
It's just a complete 180 on the Metal Gear franchise. It's only ever been about little parts of supernatural things. Some of the bosses have been supernatural, but this is just full on supernatural. Wormhole, zombies, fucking
what is it's even weirder than what Konami. I always thought Kojima was the mad one there.
Yeah,
there's obviously madder people still at Konami that are thinking up, cooking up these storylines.
I'm not sure. They haven't delved on who's actually making the game yet, but there's rumours that there's not one single member of the Kojima Productions, like some of the old devs and that. This could be a completely new team, apparently.
Wow.
But no confirmation yet.
No, we'll see. I mean, it will develop over the course of over a few months. So we had more trailers drop though.
Yeah.
It's all very odd what happened this past week, but we'll go with it, and we can't go for every trailer. Honestly, there were dozens of trailers that come out, nearly 20 on. There's still stuff coming out as we're recording this now. We're only recording this Saturday, and this will be released on Sunday. And I've seen there's a Dishonored gameplay trailer dropped this morning.
Cool.
I was like, for goodness sake, there's a lot of stuff out there if you guys want to find it, and definitely go out there and find the games that you've been interested in. Chances are something's appeared, but some of the ones that have caught our eye, and your eye in particular, was Resident Evil 7. Now we saw a little bit more from this, getting hide and seek jobby from a woman with a lantern. Reception seems to be that the game looks like shit, as in graphically,
right?
Because it's VR or PlayStation VR, the lowest form of proper gaming VR that we've got.
Yeah,
it's had to take a hit. Right. Do you subscribe to this notion of thought that it looks bad?
I don't.
You're a PC Master Race.
You must be PC Master Race. Yeah. When I played the trailer, I thought it looked quite good. I can imagine. I have experienced VR, and I can see the shit resolution that comes with it.
It's very hazy. It's not sharp.
Yeah, it's not sharp. No, it's very grainy, isn't it? But no, the trailer that if I'm not pre-ordered any PSVR, so I'll be playing it if I do just the normal way. And from the trailer I saw, I thought the graphics were pretty good.
What about the game itself?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was very, it looked like it taken a lot of inspiration from PT and Outlast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good that they need to, because I think the Resident Evil has taken a real dive, isn't it? The series.
It's taken a stinker.
So it's needed to take this sort of new direction. So I thought it was anything from good. Everything good, sorry, not from good. But yeah, no, I watched that new trailer. And yeah, I just sort of thought it was more of the same. It didn't wow me in any way, but I
feel like they need to show the combat. They've promised us combat.
Yeah.
Now we've had an experience. We've experienced ourselves. You walk around the house. There's no combat directly there. You just wander around and explore. We've then seen this trailer show nothing but hiding.
Yeah,
so it's obviously going to be a big part of the game.
Yeah,
but let's not mess around here. Resident Evil has always had a form of combat in it. Even Resi 1, if you compare that to something like Silent Hills was always the kind of slow-paced, you had like just a bat. That's all you had. Like, it wasn't a lot of combat in it. It was a bit more slow-paced, tense. Resident Evil 1, lots of gore, shooting. You could blow zombies' heads off. There's not a load of action in it, but there's always that's a big part of it. The combat.
Yeah,
I feel like they need to start showing that because it's coming out fucking January.
Bloody hell, so it ain't far away, really.
No, not for what we've seen anyway.
5 months. But yeah, so I think that works well with survival horror games. I think give you the tools for combat, but make it so sparse that you have to sort of stay resourceful and with what you do.
There is a balance to that, isn't there? And
definitely.
Trying to get that right is always difficult. And if you look at Resi 4, they went complete action.
Oh god,
I still retain some of those fearful moments, but it wasn't. There's a lot more action based and changed the over the shoulder third person genre single handedly. So you can't complain too much. But what would you say, height level up or down on Resi 7?
No, I'm still up. I'm still hyped. I just hope it's not like I didn't I like the look of Outlast. I'm too scared to play it, but
Yeah.
I don't like not being able to sort of defend myself. With that, you could just run away. That you didn't have any weapons, did you?
Yeah, no, you had nothing. You had to run. You had to
Yeah.
hide.
See, I don't like that. I want to be able to protect myself. So, yeah, hopefully, I'm sure they won't do it like that. But yeah, you're right. We need to see some more stuff now. I want to see some more. Like I've heard that they're going to be some green herbs. Yeah. I want to see a couple of Umbrella logos thrown in there.
Yeah.
A couple of Easter eggs, just to know that I am playing a Resident Evil game rather than a complete new IP. But yeah, I think they're on the right tracks. Just I'll keep it posted.
Yeah. Battlefield 1 trailer.
Yeah. Of course, it's looking good, isn't it?
It is. It looked amazing, didn't it? Open beta starting 31st of August, so that's good news. We're all going to be able to jump on that and play it, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
But trailer itself showcased the kind of desert level there is, and horse combat is one thing they've added. Looks good in the trailer. Looks like good fun. What are your thoughts? I mean, this is to me now becoming the leading. There's the three, isn't there? There's the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which I don't think looks bad at all. I think that looks good fun. That looks like good times. There's even bloody space combat in that.
Yeah,
and that's free. Yeah. They've confirmed that's not on a rail either. You can fly around the levels. That's incredible. You've then got Titanfall 2, which we'll talk about in a moment because of the multiplayer tech tests, and we've had a brief experience with that. And then you've got Battlefield 1, all coming in this kind of like 4-week period almost together.
Yeah.
At the moment, for me, Battlefield 1 is in the lead.
Is it winning? Yeah.
For me, anyway.
For you, yeah. For me, I've got to say Titanfall at the minute, but from what I saw, what I've seen of Battlefield 1, it just does look incredible, doesn't it?
It's going to look insane on a Master Race rig.
Yeah, and I find that all with these sort of first-person games, Battlefield was great for it. If you play these games with no HUD, they're so immersive, and that's what I think. Like with the trailer, it's just obviously got no HUD. It's just in-game footage, isn't it? But it does look just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am very hyped for this one. But I don't know, I just lost my way with it. Just I got 3. And then I was going to get 4, but it just, I don't know, it just sort of lost its way. So hopefully they can pull it back. But yeah, everything I've seen of this, it's just been thumbs up.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's looking good. Their campaign is notably awful in Battlefield, which is a shame.
It's another thing, isn't it, that puts me off. Yeah. That's why I think Titanfall's just edging it for me. Yeah,
well, let's talk about Titanfall then, because we've played the multiplayer tech tests. Yeah, I had a couple of games. It's a pre-alpha build. I mean, what the hell? Not far away from release, and but they have these builds sitting there for months, and they're probably working on something else. They are testing the multiplayer point. We could just about make a party, but could only have one game together before it splits up, which is a bit frustrating. But again, not final version of the game. Let's talk about the gameplay itself. You played about 9 hours of Titanfall 1, and then dropped it like a bad habit. 11, sorry.
Got 2 extra hours.
You're a veteran then.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that was just, I enjoyed what I played. It did get, I'm not really a multiplayer gamer. I try to get into these games like Overwatch. I buy them and I think this is it. This is going to be the one. I do it for about a week. The hype's there, and then it sort of fizzles out, and that's it. I've got nothing to go back to. And the reason it is because I like to have a single player thing that I can go and play on my own.
Yeah.
If my friend's not about playing. So that's one thing that did happen with Titanfall, the first game. Yeah, it didn't have that campaign, so it did fizzle out pretty quick. So
how do you feel Titanfall 2 played then? So we know the campaign's coming. There's a campaign trailer out of details and whatnot. It seems like an interesting idea. It's mixed between pilot combat and Titan combat and jumping puzzles. It looks okay to me. Infinity Ward boys, and they're renowned for having decent campaigns at the very least. But in terms of what we played, how is that edging it as well? Or?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a bit. I thought it was a big improvement from the first game. I mean, I've only played a little bit of the new sort of Call of Duty games. Where you're sort of hopping about and walking.
Right.
They've gone down that sort of Titanfall route, haven't they, with the sort of traversing.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's just a lot more fluid. It just feels a lot more slick playing it compared to what I remember of playing 1. The combat, you can move, you're sliding while you're shooting, and the gunplay, it felt a lot more sort of responsive.
Grappling hook.
Grappling hook.
Everyone wants to know about the grappling hook.
Fucking brilliant. I like it. Although it did take a little while to get used to. I think you told me that you have to
jump. It's not as snappy as you see in the trailer when they first announced it. Because they're making that look as easy as possible. It's very difficult to flow as well as those players are, but that is kind of part of the appeal, is that you will learn to be that good eventually. And I think that it's a good inclusion. It's not on every class, so it's kind of do you have it or do you don't have it? Do you have a sonar instead that's going to help you, or do you have this grappling hook? Yeah, it's a good inclusion. I quite liked the bounty hunter mode.
Yeah,
which reminds me a lot of Warzone in Halo 5 Guardians. It's got AI enemies to kill, and that's how you accumulate your points, or in this case your cash. And it's got like mini bosses that you can destroy, and you'll get more cash. So it's about killing the AI whilst also pegging back your opponents. You've got amped hardpoint and pilot v pilot, which I didn't get a chance to play, but I think early impressions, a couple of hours of playing it, positive. I don't think there's no glaring negatives, because I was looking at some of the gameplay on the EA press conference, the 3-hour jobby, the multiplayer demo they did, and it looked sluggish, but playing it's anything but.
Yeah, no, it worked fine to me. It was nice. I'm a bit of a frame rate geek, and that was all thumbs up, running at a nice 60. It looked great on console. The only downside we had was just that matchmaking thing, but I'm sure that was either a bug or will get patched out. It's no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So all good things from what we played.
Yeah, I'll probably try and get Logan on next week to talk about his experience. I know he's off playing it on the Xbox One, so it'd be interesting to get. He's a big fan of the first one. I've played it many hours like I did, so definitely get him on next week to discuss that. One final thing before we depart, not really related to Gamescom, but it has happened. It's the one, it's the only delay news. The longest game ever in development, apart from maybe The Last Guardian. Final Fantasy 15 delay. September the 30th, binned. It's now November the 29th, so just under 2 months. They cited that they want to make the game work properly on a disc rather than having a giant day one patch, which, how many times we complain about the day one patches? A lot. So good to see that that's what they're going to do. If it arrives, now there will be a patch. Let's not kid ourselves. It will arrive with a patch of some sort. But if it arrives with a big day one patch still, then questions need to be asked. But you've been waiting a long time for this. Is the 2 months going to make much of a difference? It's been, nearly a decade. It's over a decade.
Yeah.
Of this, do you know what I mean? No,
that's right.
I've been waiting long enough for it.
No, not for me. I'm happy with these delays as long as they make the game better. It's something they need to fix on. From what we've seen in the game, we have criticised the sort of performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So it's something they need to work on. The only downside to that is the timing. What's around that sort of time?
Yeah, it's dropping at a silly old time, isn't it? Back end of November, you've got all of October's releases, you've got all of November's releases out, and there's only a handful that release usually in December. One of them will be Steep, which was Ubisoft's extreme sports social game. That'll be coming early December. I think it's December the 2nd. I might have made that up, but someone can correct me. But yeah, it's coming right at the back end of all the. It was sort of at the front end, wasn't it? Coming in September, it gets out before the rush of October and November, and now it's at the back of the pack. Well, that says to me that that's going to cost them money, no doubt. That's definitely. Yeah. There's no way they're making more money by it coming out in November. They're making less. I'm pretty much confident of that. Yeah. So that says to me they're willing to. They want the game to be right, at least.
Yeah, that's it.
Just get it out there and deal with stability issues. People just patch it later on. We spoke about No Man's Sky stability, that sort of thing. So I'm glad they've done this in a way because they definitely have lost money. If they were to release it next year, I'll definitely be 100% happy because then I know they're definitely not caring, but they've still kind of got it in this window, if you like, before the end of the fiscal year, which is what they'll look for investors' point. But there is an hour-long worth of gameplay footage out there.
Yeah.
It's cut together. It cuts out some of the boring bits when they're driving around. And I've seen a little bit of it. It looks good, but I've been listening to other people's opinions who have read it, and they were down on the game like us, and they are now kind of getting hyped for it again after watching that. So it's for you guys out there, if you want to watch this, you can just it's just Final Fantasy. I think it's called Master Version gameplay. And it's almost an hour of the near version, the final version of the game, and you get to see a little bit of everything about it. So for those that are on the fence, perhaps take a look at that if you've got the time. But in terms of your predictions for the game, do you think you're even going to get this still?
What's it? What number? 15? Oh, definitely. Yeah, there'll be a day
Definitely get
it. Yeah, definitely will. Yeah.
So you're not put off by what you've seen so far. Well, it's mainly me. I mean, you haven't. It is me that has been a little bit about it because I don't know. I was expecting just so much from it. And tricky.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, with the performance, it was that E3 demo that really did give it a shoo-in, didn't it?
Yeah, it did fucking cost it.
That geezer that was playing it was dreadful, and so I've tried to shut that out, but no, I'm still hyped for the game. I enjoyed I know you didn't. I enjoyed the little platinum demo, even though it did run that shit. And yeah, no, from what I've seen, I'm getting hyped in the little anime, and the CGI films just dropped as well. So I'm getting suckered into it, but I'm a D1 for this.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. It runs like a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna be disappointed.
I will be. Yeah. Because they're going for the lowest. They're going for a 1080p 30 frames per second, which is fine, but it needs to be consistent. I mean, open world games, it's been done. Look at GTA 5. That runs perfect. It runs at 60 open world, and I can't imagine that this world's going to be a lot bigger than that. So it can be done. Just get
it done.
Get it done and get it right. Yeah.
I do wonder whether come September when we have the Neo, and we're assuming the Neo announcement, that they don't show off a game like this and say, look what it's like in Neo mode.
Yeah.
They've got to show something.
Yeah, maybe that's what this is for. They're getting their Neo presentation ready.
This is one game that definitely could benefit from that because potentially benefit. All games should benefit from it, but the scale of this game, it looks huge. If you can give that a good showing, that would annoy a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's one of those things. If once that happens, if that happens, and this is one of the flagship titles, I would be tempted to hold off getting it until I'd got hold of a Neo. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That will divide a lot of people. That will definitely divide a lot of people. But we will see. Let's do the game releases and get out of here.
Yeah.
No point waffling for much longer. So actually, actual games coming out this week, which is good. Quite a few. So Tuesday, the 23rd of August, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Reviews are out there in the wild if you want to take a look at that. The embargo lifted on Friday. Definitely something I will play, and I'm disappointed I'm not going to get it day one. But the fact that you've gone and got Dying Light, that is now I've got to concentrate. I've had that a while. I want to concentrate, give that a go. So that's kind of like my main game at the moment with No Man's Sky supplementing the odd kind of if I want to just dilly around and do something. So, but Deus Ex: Mankind Divided looks good. Reviews are solid. It's a good fantasy pick for me, and I think the fantasy draft is coming towards an end as we move in. Hall's Federation Force is also out, Metroid Prime, and that is had a lukewarm reception from the 15 or so scores that have been logged so far. But we will see come the end of the year how that works. Worms, WMD, Weapons of Mass Destruction, I can only assume. That is on Xbox One, PS4, PC, and PlayStation Vita. Also, Mankind Divided on Xbox One, PS4, PC. Just going back to Mankind Divided, actually, they have outsourced the PC port, and a few rumours circulating that it doesn't run the best. So, once again, it's these developers that can't be asked to do a PC version themselves, and it's costly.
Dishing them out.
It must be aggravating for a PC owner.
Because, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
You know what it can do. It's capable of blowing the PlayStation out the water, and you think, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to think what the last game was that was outsourced. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was one that was outsourced, wasn't it? An absolute horse shit to run.
Yeah, exactly. Hue, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. No idea what that is. Inside, the Xbox One exclusive for 2 months is now arriving on PS4.
Right.
So that will be coming out. All those games Tuesday the 23rd of August. Inside itself, there will be a review going up on our YouTube channel. It will be available on the website on Tuesday. I played the Xbox One version of that game. So if you are thinking about purchasing that, take a little look at the review come Tuesday. And if you've got a PS4, you can go out and buy that. Wednesday the 24th of August, a PC game called Abduction. Never heard of that, if I'm honest. No. Thursday, the 25th of August, Madden NFL 2017, or 17 as they call it. 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4. Well, that's starting now. That to me signals games are starting to roll out when the Madden drops.
Yeah.
Sports games start arriving for the year.
Yeah.
Master of Origin on PC also on that Thursday, and the other 99 also on PC. Friday the 26th of August. The King of Fighters. What's that say? 14? Again, how are they getting all these releases? Piss. Unbelievable. Assetto Corsa. Racing simulation. It's been out on PC, was out on early access, is now arriving on Xbox One and PS4. AOT Wings of Freedom, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, PC, PlayStation Vita, Space Hulk, PlayStation 4, and finally The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Game of the Year Edition. Xbox One, PS4, and PC includes all the DLC, the wonderful best DLC I've ever played on that one incredible disc or download if you get it on PC. I've just literally this last week finished playing The Witcher for good, gone through all the side quests, done all of the contracts, and I finally put it down with heavy heart, but what a game that is. And if you've not played it, get the Game of the Year version, as the DLC is magnificent. The games in themselves, and to be honest, Adkins, I think we need to do a post-podcast gaming lounge on that soon and discuss that game, because it's we'll book that in for the next couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
Talk about full spoilers and really going deep in that game, because you've completed it and I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it's terrific. I really need to commit to the DLC, really.
Yeah, good stuff.
Get that done.
Good stuff on that. One weird thing, actually, if you've got the game already in some ways, if you've got the base game, and you go, I'll get the Game of the Year edition, save doesn't work with it, so don't. just buy the DLC separately. Yeah, weird. Odd thing to happen. Don't know how that's happening. But I think we'll draw this particular podcast to a close. If you want to find out what we're doing in between podcasts every week, go to dimpdigital.com. Written content, video content, other content. This is on here. Everything's on there. Find us there. Updates on the race to 100k, where Hall is chasing Adkins' gamer score less than 1,000 when I last checked.
Cool.
So it's only a matter of days before he takes the lead in that particular challenge. And also the fantasy gaming drafts. Keep up to date with that at dimpdigital.com. That's it for now, though. Game over. It's goodbye from Adkins.
See you later.
And it's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time, and ta-da.